I'm Mark Dresner, and this is the Research Insider, a special interview series delivering the insight scoop from experts and leaders in market research and shopper insights. Joining me today is Barbara Singer. She is the Vice President of Advertising Insights and Strategy at ESPN. Barbara, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mark. Good to be here.
Great to have you. Now, ESPN, like every network on the planet, is struggling with cross-platform viewership. It's a big unknown. And retailers have a very similar issue. They're obviously struggling with omni-channel and the growth in that. What do you think retailers can learn or should think about based on how you're looking at this issue from ESPN's perspective?
I think there are some very strong parallels to our situations between retail and what we're facing in the media industry. We are obviously a sports company. We bring sports content. In fact, our mission at ESPN is to serve sports fans anytime, anywhere. That automatically takes us beyond television to a number of other platforms because we need to be there. Whenever someone needs a sports score, wants to see a game, wants to read the analysis and get involved, we have to be there for them. And so that means that we're on television, obviously. We're also in websites, apps, we have a magazine, we have radio. So we're everywhere carrying sports. So what that does is it presents kind of our omni-channel challenge, just like the retail industry, where we need to understand that. There was a fear at ESPN initially when we went beyond television into other platforms. Will those other platforms take away the audience from television? What we found is that it doesn't do that at all. In fact, it increases the amount of television viewership. The multiple channels actually add to the usage. So that's been, that's a fear that retailers don't have to have. If they're going to have multiple channels, 1 + 1 = 3 in this case.
Wow, wow, excellent. And when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that each channel really has its own job, if you will.
Yes, they do. Yes. We have, obviously, we reach a lot of young men who are on the go, and they're not always sitting in front of their television to see games. So we provide for them digitally a way to watch live. We provide for them ways that they can get to scores, that we always have the SportsCenter app in their pocket on their mobile devices. We're available via podcast and via live radio as well. So it's really about what moment you're in. If you're in the car, then radio will be your first go-to. We call it the best available screen. That's what fans use. Yeah. And so that's what we try to do, is to be there for each of those.
That's a great way of thinking from a retailer's standpoint, is each channel should have its job, and where are they? That's what they really need to be thinking about then, is the context, right?
Right, exactly.
And ESPN is distinguished from a lot of traditional networks in that you're very, very event, not dependent, impacted by events, by seasons, much more so than a conventional network, much as retailers are.
Absolutely.
Can you speak to that a little bit for us?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Fans shop for sports it's seasonally, just like they do in retail outlets. They'll shop for things in different styles. So we'll see, based on the sporting event, the given day, a different pattern of consumption of ESPN based on what it is. For example, for big events that we don't air on ESPN, for example, the NCAA basketball tournament, the first day of that tournament's on a Thursday. That's our biggest digital day of the year. Our fans are still, they might be watching the games, but then they're checking in with ESPN to make sure they're keeping up to date with all the scores, with all the highlights and what's happening in each of the games. So we get that. During the World Cup, we saw all different kinds of profiles of fan behavior, depending on when matches were. During the day, we saw a lot of streaming, probably people at work that shouldn't have been streaming, but they were. And then you saw, obviously then later in the day, you saw games where there was more television viewership. So there's definitely an ebb and flow to the different platforms depending on, again, the fan need, just like a consumer need in the retail space.
Wonderful. And now I want to get to the question that I'm sure is burning with everyone, and that is, how do you measure this stuff? How do you go about it?
It's a really difficult chore.
Yeah.
We have been focused on it at ESPN for quite a while. In fact, we got so enamored with studying cross-platform, we gave it a name and a brand name. So we call it ESPN XP for cross-platform. And it focuses on both understanding the behavior of our fans, so how are they using each of the platforms, how are they using them in combination with each other, and we also key in on the effectiveness for our advertisers.
Yeah.
So, you know, if an advertiser is using a multi-platform approach with ESPN, which of those platforms are driving which of their KPIs, and how are they working in combination with each other? Really, really important stuff. I feel like we've pushed the envelope on trying to get there, but there's just so much more work to do in the area.
Absolutely, and everything's changing so fast, constantly.
Fast,
yeah.
right.
What have you learned so far in your attempts to measure this stuff? I mean, is there one right way to measure, for example?
We'd like to take a surround strategy,
Yeah.
because there might be a right way to measure a specific aspect of cross-platform, but because there are so many different things to know about it, we do have to take a lot of different approaches. So we will do anything from survey techniques so that we can actually get quantitative information about consumers. We'll do ethnography. We did a whole study of tailgating and how fans prepare for tailgates. What do they bring? You know, what are the different products that come into play? It was fascinating. But just understanding the depth and detail of a specific sports season takes a lot of different approaches.
Absolutely, absolutely. Much like a specific retail season, back to school or you know, summer, any of that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Well, you've given us a lot to think about. I think this is really terrific. Sort of twist on a perspective for retailers to think about, definitely. So thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that concludes this episode of the Research Insider. If you'd like to learn more about the Shopper Insights in Action Conference, please visit us online at shopperinsightsevent.com. Until next time, I'm Mark Dresner, and you've just heard the Insight Scoop.